The day Steve Vanderwey had a party, proclaimed loudly, "Didn't your grandfather disown you?" Speaking of Leo Peters. He was in Belfast at a Valley Christian party. He's from Grand Rapids, or Jennifer, Michigan. In Granville, one of those very conservative communities, Christian Reform. And I knew him from Calvin College, or semester in Spain with Calvin College. That's where I originally met him. He's a tall guy too, 7'2" or something like that. But he wasn't that good at basketball. He couldn't dunk, barely. We called him skyscraper in Spanish. But apparently he was familiar of gossip about my grandfather, as are some people in West Michigan. And then my grandfather, Leo Peters, the founder of Butterball Farms, was involved in the creation evolution issue. And sort of became antagonistic towards Calvin College about it. My grandfather was more of a literalist in terms of the 7 days creation. And then that was around the time Howard Van Til wrote his book, The Fourth Day, which, placed in some question whether it was a literal 7 days or figurative, or, all that stuff having to do with creationism, intelligent design, things like that. So he became more well known because of that, in terms of his conservative position. But he must have found out. He must have heard somewhere some of the story about some of the family issues. It should be family issues, not something you talk about at a party or something. But apparently some people do that. So I'm at this Valley Christian gathering. My other grandfather, Gareth Koch, founded Valley Christian High School back in the 30s, which is now a very well-respected Christian high school in Cerritos, California, near Belfast. And I'm at this gathering, party or some sort, and he's there, and for some reason that's what he said out loud. "Didn't your grandfather disown you?" Or disown my mom or our family. Well, it was a weird thing to say at a party, and he's trying to make me look bad, I guess, is that I could say. But the truth of the matter is, Leo Peters, my grandfather, was not a good person. Not a good person. Even he was a good businessman. He's successful, maybe lucky, who knows. I mean, he sells butter. All the butter that you get at McDonald's is from my grandfather's factory in Grand Rapids. It was my mom and her sisters who helped him develop that butter in their apartment in Evanston, Illinois. Without them, maybe he wouldn't be there. Anyways, he's kind of looked upon aspirationally. He passed away, as a success story in Grand Rapids. And Steve Vanderwey apparently likes financial success stories. So Leo Peters is a hero to somebody like him, even if he was a terrible person in general. He's a business success. To people like Steve, that's all that matters. And so if he disowned my mom, that means that my mom is the bad lady, the bad person, or we're the bad family, the bad guy. No matter what she did or didn't do. Whether my grandfather was the bad guy for doing what he did. He didn't disown us, by the way. Whatever that means, that's kind of a broad term. And he knows nothing about my grandma, my real grandma, my grandfather's first wife. So for him to say that, just to blurt it out, this is very immature. And I thought he was a friend for that matter. Thought. So anyways, I just thought I'd tell that story. Steve apparently runs some kind of, financial business in Grand Rapids. No longer a friend, if he ever was, I guess. He did come over to our house sometimes in Bellflower and out here when he was living out here briefly. But apparently he doesn't respect us as a family or me as a person, whatever the case may be. But you have to choose for yourself out there, what's more important, these so-called successful businessmen, no matter how ruthless and mean they can be, selfish, anti-Christian, or, trying to live by Christian biblical principles. You decide for yourself. Steve's brother, by the way, went to seminary out here in California, went to Westminster. I don't know what happened to him, if he became a pastor or what. His twin brother actually was, I guess it was a twin, but not identical because he was a lot shorter. They had similar looks, but different size. But if they're more conservative than Christian, then they're just, I'd say, conservative preachers rather than Christian preachers. I favor conservative principles myself, but if it conflicts with being Christian, Christian comes first.